Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. We're looking back on our Tuesday evening league, the GTMC Season 4, in Lobby 1 for Round 8 here at Sardinia Road Track A. And how exciting it is as well. Lobby 1 is really starting to heat up now. What is the GTMC, I hear you ask, at Round 8? Because you've not seen a single round before this? Well, let me inform you. The Grand Touring Manufacturers Championship is VRC's only multi-category racing series, where the drivers will need to master cars from the Group 3 and Group 4 categories across 10 rounds. So the drivers will select a manufacturer to represent during the championship. It's a free choice of manufacturer, and it will become first come, first served. That was ages ago, though. And yes, they will race in a sprint race with the Group 4 cars. 10 minutes of qualifying, followed by a 15-minute race. I'm pretty sure is just on the softs or super softs. And then, after that race, from the results of the sprint race, there will be a random number drawn for the grid for the next grid. So the results will reverse at that drawn number for the 40-minute endurance race in the Group 3 cars, which has a free choice of tyres from, I believe, super soft, soft and medium, and they have to use at least 2 of those compounds. That's pretty much all of that on the info. Let me tell you the tables as we're just starting round 8. We've got this race at Sardinia, then Nürburgring, and then Dragon's Trail for the end of the season. So that's really exciting stuff. We've got Little's GP at the top of the table on 323 points. Liam Anfield in second place on 274 points. Is quite a drift. I don't know if that ground can be gained before the end of the season. We've got to keep a close eye on it. In third, we have Matt Psycho on 269 points. That's a very tight fight between Liam Anfield and Matt Psycho for second in the championship. Racer Brown is in fourth on 253 points. I.R. Graham fifth on 219 points. Homesick Alien is sixth on 215 points. Gazman is seventh on 204 points. Guesty is eighth on 147 points. Stevie Styler is ninth on 145 points. Kale is 10th on 129 points. Noxie in 11th on 126 points. Daz is 12th on 95 points. Alpha Nut is 13th on 85 points. G Richards is 14th on 76 points. Iron Doctor is 15th on 38 points. And Pace is in 16th on 26 points. That's the table, but also, as important in this championship, the manufacturers. Let's have a look. Then, looking at the manufacturers table for Lobby 1, BMW sitting proud at the top on 326 points. In second place, Alfa Romeo on 315 points. So that is not over by a long shot. With 11 points difference and 3 rounds to go, there is everything to fight for the top manufacturer. In third is Aston Martin on 270 points, ahead of Mercedes in fourth on 215 points. Lexus sitting in fifth on 208 points. McLaren sixth on 145 points. Chevrolet seventh on 131 points. Jaguar in eighth on 95 points. Toyota ninth on 85 points. And Ford in 10th on 76 points, although I believe Toyota and Ford have no representation in the championship anymore, so I doubt they'll be moving up the table much. So that's the drivers. The manufacturers. I've covered my bases. I saw some things popping up in the chat. Skyjacker saying morning, Jim saying morning all, and Flashman saying morning all. There are early birds, there are early risers. A little slurp of coffee if you don't mind, and keep the whistle wet. So here, yeah, there you see a big sign saying Sardinia. You've been staring at it for ages while I've been rabbling on. So let us have a look at the grid after 10 minutes of qualifying. We've heard the tables, we know who's in what place, so here we go. Sitting in pole position, Lidl's GP, top of the table and on pole in his BMW. In second spot, we have IR Graham, who's fifth in the table. He's looking to get some good results before the end of this season. Third place, we have Guesty on absolute fire in qualifying. And the points will do him well with his fight against Stevie Styler. And oh look, in fourth, Stevie Styler's come along for the ride. Them two are battling high up the grid. In sixth place we have Liam Anfield. No, fifth, sorry. In sixth place we have Racer Brown in the other Aston Martin. In seventh we have Matt Psycho, and he's fighting for that second spot. He's down in seventh. In eighth we have the Mercedes of Homesick Alien. In ninth, we have the Lexus of Gazman. In 10th, we have Daz in his Jaguar. And in 11th, we have Noxie in the other Lexus. So, we're preparing for our sprint race. 15 minutes around the road track of Sardinia. Circuit A. So, let's crack on. Without further ado, let's get to the grid. I'll press the play button. Choose a better camera. Oh my god, sorry, that's my controller. Let's get to there. Lights haven't gone yet, so we haven't missed anything. And Lil GP, ready for the lights, waiting for the go. And it's off. Lil GP ahead of IR Graham. IR Graham's making it look like he's just tucking in straight behind. It's a long straight before their first corner. So IR Graham trying to optimise that toe. Guesty in a fine third place. He's looking like he's coming up the side of IR Graham in the first corner. It's a tight first corner. Little GP makes it through and looks like Guesty just gets ahead of IR Graham leading into that corner. IR Graham in third. Liam Anfield up into fourth. Stevie Styler's dropped down a little bit and Matt Psycho's up in sixth. Homesick Alien seventh. Racer Brown in eighth. I think Racer Brown looks like he's dropped down somewhat. In ninth we have Daz. 10th is Gazman and 11th Noxie. Oh, looks like there's a little knock in between Racer Brown and Daz there into the tight corner. These are big cars to get through these tight corners, and there's Little GP still leading from Guesty, who's slightly ahead of IR Graham, who's ahead of Liam Anfield at the moment. Liam Anfield won't want his teammate getting in his way. He's got a championship to think about, but also IR Graham wanting to move up that championship also after missing a few rounds through internet. And Stevie Styler coming from nowhere. Stevie Styler, where is that? He's up into third. He's got past both of the Alfa Romeos, but he's on the outside, and IR Graham tucks in at third place ahead of Stevie Styler, with Liam Anfield now in fifth. Matt Psycho sitting there just behind these guys. In the chat, Bunting saying morning all, and Racer Brown saying morning all. Wow, we have some early guys. So Lil GP leading from Guesty, and IR Graham sitting in third with Stevie Styler in fourth place, with Liam Anfield down in fifth. Matt Psycho. Oh, Liam Anfield looks like I thought he was looking like he was thinking about making a move on the McLaren. Matt Psycho in the BMW in sixth place. Homesick Alien in the Mercedes, right on the tail of that BMW. The two German manufacturers hard at it as we complete a lap here at Sardinia. Oh, and we get a fancy camera angle as well. And there you go, Homesick Alien. Happy birthday. And oh, it looks like, what's that? Liam Anfield, fifth. Liam Anfield defending against a Matt Psycho. Liam Anfield last time, a 2 minute. So he's lost some time in a corner. He's dropped away from them guys ahead, and there goes Matt Psycho. He's looking to make a move up the inside, but he just hasn't got enough of the car up there. But it looks like Liam Anfield's lost the back end of the Alfa, giving Matt Psycho the opportunity, but not quite, because Liam Anfield's still sitting there ahead of the BMW. Wow, crazy stuff there, racing between the Mercedes, the BMW, and the Alfa Romeo. Just behind them, though, in eighth place is Racer Brown, catching those guys up. Saw Noxie taking a bit of barrier there ahead of his teammate Gazman, and Daz in 11th in the Jaguar. He's dropped behind the crowd a little bit there. I know he's really struggling with that Jaguar this season. So Little's GP absolutely in a world of his own at the moment. The number 5 car absolutely trekking on. But there, Guesty keeping him in sight with IR Graham in that final podium position ahead of Stevie Styler. Stevie Styler keeping IR Graham honest there all the way around, but oh no, Stevie Styler's gone on the grass. He's had to use the barrier to straighten himself up, and there comes Liam Anfield flying past with momentum, and the Matt Psycho, can he make it stick also? No, it looks like he's got stuck behind the McLaren, and he's got Homesick Alien absolutely on his bumper. Birthday Alien then chasing down Matt Psycho. See if he can get results. This was the day before his birthday though. Today's his birthday. Aliens have birthdays also. Yes, it's true. Oh, look at this. We've got two up ahead and 2 here. We had Stevie Styler and Liam Anfield side by side. And oh, where did Racer Brown come from? Racer Brown up into 6th place, whilst Matt Psycho and Homesick Alien are battling it out. Racer Brown just came up and mugged the both of them off, and he's looking like he wants a little bit of McLaren. He's making the move early, but he doesn't quite get it. And there we see Matt Psycho under pressure from the Alien. Absolutely mental racing down the field. Little GP pulling away from the rest of the crowd. Guesty sitting in a fine 2nd spot. He's got the fastest lap of the race on lap 2. Remember though, those Aston Martins we've seen before this season, they wear their tyres out the last few laps quite hard on them. So there we go, IR Graham in 3rd place. We're coming up to 5 minutes of this 15-minute race. Liam Anfield in 4th. Stevie Styler still holding that 5th place ahead of Racer Brown, but Matt Psycho's having a look at the Aston Martin of the inside, but Racer Brown staying firm around the outside, and it looks like it's still Racer Brown's corner, and it has. There you go, Racer Brown just edging ahead of Matt Psycho. Racer Brown, oh yes, he's got a great line through that corner, and Matt Psycho now is under real pressure from the Alien. The Alien having a look of the inside, but he can't quite get enough on him. Gazman there in the Lexus catching those guys up in 9th, with Noxie in 10th, Daz in 11th. Leading the way is Little's GP. He's just about to cross the line, and he gets himself a 49.124. It said purple, and it is purple. Guesty in 2nd place. He's starting to drop sight of the BMW now, and IR Graham falling behind the Aston Martin. But remember, we've got to keep an eye on Guesty's tyres. So IR Graham in 3rd ahead of his teammate, but his teammate's under pressure from the McLaren. The McLaren looking at getting past. They're side by side all the way down the straight, and the McLaren just edges ahead of... Oh, but the McLaren's out late. I don't know if there was a nudge. It looks like Liam Anfield's going slow also. So yeah, it looks like Liam Anfield had to lift to let Stevie Styler back through. I think there was a little nudge under braking. And now Matt Psycho's bouncing from one side of the track to the other. He is like a caged tiger in that BMW. He wants to get past the pair of these. They're slowing him down. But it's Liam Anfield he's in the battle with for 2nd in the championship. So it's pretty much just Liam Anfield he wants to get ahead. Racer Brown has... Yeah, he's dropped behind those guys. I didn't notice that happening, sorry. In 7th with Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien looking to make a move around the outside, but he's not going to get anything there. And oh, I don't know what happened there for Racer Brown. It looks like he found a BMW in his way. So we're sitting on board with Racer Brown. We're following Matt Psycho. And oh, just really caught those guys up, tried to avoid, and then he just sort of stayed out of the way and got in the way. Poor Racer Brown, that's not what you need when you're in a bit of a battle. And now Racer Brown dropping down into 10th spots with Daz behind. Lil GP heading off in the distance with Guesty in the 2nd Aston Martin doing an absolutely terrific job. He did a 50.0 his last time around, with IR Graham in 3rd with a 50.1. So I.R. Graham not quite managing to catch up the Aston Martin. Let's have a look this time around as they cross the line. Guesty getting across the line of 49.7 for the Aston Martin. I.R. Graham doing a 49.5. Only 2/10 faster. He's going to have to go faster to catch up that Aston Martin before the end of this race. Stevie Styler in the McLaren in 4th with Liam Anfield behind him in 5th in the Alfa Romeo. Then we've got Matt Psycho. He's dropped away from them a little bit now. He's got Gasman now. Gasman's caught up the Alien. Gasman catching up the Alien in his Lexus. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, sorry. And Noxie sitting right on the tail of the Mercedes there. Racer Brown just behind these guys also. Very tight here at the Sardinia course. And Daz just in 11th. Can see this battle. Let's get on board with Daz. See what he can see. Racer Brown saying it wasn't a great track for him. And we're sat on board the Jaguar. Little GP leading from Guesty, and I.R. Graham is in 3rd place. Sat on board with Daz in 11th in the Jaguar. Ahead we can see Racer Brown, Noxie, Homesick and Gasman, all of them all in a bunch. Daz must be getting dizzy. He must be thinking, oh, I could get halfway up the field here if I play my cards right. Slurpy slurp. So we're just at the 9-minute mark here in this 15-minute race, and we're having a cracking one here from... Oops. Oh, Gasman's made a mistake. Gasman's had a bit of an off. Gasman's had an off. Is it? Oh, my Lord. What's going on then? So, Racer Brown is up into 7th, and Noxie 8th. Daz in 9th. Oh, Homesick Alien. Did Homesick Alien get caught up with him, or did he have to wait for him? Let's have a little look back. So there, Gasman in 7th. Oh, I think the Alien might have been up the inside of him a bit. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think the Alien might have lifted to wait for Gasman there. I don't know if he had a little knock on the inside of him in that corner. And now the Alien is down in 11th spot. Gasman in 10th. Daz making a move. Daz making a move on the Lexus down the straight with the Lexus. Just got a little bit of front end speed. Top end, I mean, ahead of the Jaguar, and there goes Noxie into the corner in 8th spot. But them two still battling side by side. Mummy Sykes is in the chat saying morning everyone. Caroline. And oh no, Noxie's had it off now. Noxie off the road, down into 11th spot. What's happening out there? Lil's GP keeping it real, keeping it in the straight and the narrow. There's Guesty. Oh my Lord, I.R. Graham is now caught up with Guesty. I.R. Graham did a 49.5 his last time around. Guesty doing a 50.5, nearly a second slower than I.R. Graham, and I.R. Graham on the tail of that Aston Martin. We said the Aston Martin uses its tyres up a little bit more than the other guys. Stevie Styler in 4th place with Liam Anfield in 5th, and Matt Psycho is starting to catch that crew up now. So Matt Psycho in the BMW in a battle for 2nd in the championship with Liam Anfield is closing down on his closest foe. It's cracking stuff here at Sardinia for the sprint race of the GTMC Season 4 Lobby 1 for the Virtual Racers Club. Wow, that was a lot of information in one breath. Little GP coming around to start his lap 7, 11 minutes, 4 minutes left of racing to go. And no, you can't stop this man. He's a force to be reckoned with. With I.R. Graham looking like he's going to make the move on Guesty. Can Guesty just stay ahead? It's saying Guesty's in 2nd at the moment, the grunt of the Aston Martin versus the Alfa Romeo. But we suspect the tyres are starting to go from Guesty, and he's really starting to lose some front end grip in that car. And so I.R. Graham is hustling. He's shuffling and hustling all in one go. Behind him we've got Stevie Styler versus... Oh, Stevie Styler's tyres are not looking too good. Liam Anfield all over the back of that McLaren. He wants to be making some shuffling himself because he's got Matt Psycho catching him up at 49.8 last time around from Matt Psycho. Liam Anfield at 49.9. There's nothing in it. Stevie Styler at 50.3. He really is the lump in the way at the moment for Liam Anfield. And Liam Anfield doing all he can. And Guesty still under immense pressure from IR Graham right now. IR Graham looking for anything he can to get past a second place. Guesty. Awesome racing here from these guys. Stevie Styler under pressure with Matt Psycho catching them up back further. We've got Racer Brown in 7th ahead of Gazman in that Lexus. Then we have the Alien in 9th and Noxie in 10th, and Daz. Oh, Daz is back down into 11th there in the Jaguar. He looks like he's ghosted, so maybe more issues than what we're aware of. Yeah, 205 that last time around. So it looks like Daz had an emergency outside the cockpit. Little's GP then still flying around in first place. Every time we come to him, he seems to be starting a new lap. There you go, lap 8. 13-minute mark. We've got 2 more minutes left. It's going to be this lap and the next lap for Little's GP. Can the rest of them cross the line? Guesty still holding on to that second spot. Come on, Guesty, just 2 more minutes, my friend. 2 more minutes, but your tyres are degrading every turn. But it looks like IO Graham's dropping back a little bit from you. So, oh, I don't know. This is the bit, though. This is the bit where IO Graham can really close down on that Aston Martin and put some pressure on. And IR Graham is really putting the pressure on. So Guesty just trying to survive. There goes IR Graham. He's trying to go up the inside. He's got the car sideways, and Guesty there maintaining that, but he's got a little bit of drift on himself, and they're side by side coming out the corner. But it looks like IR Graham is just edging forward. No, the grunt of the Aston Martin doing enough, but no, on the late on the brakes. There goes IR Graham into second spot. Ooh, just about knocking the barrier while he's at it, and Guesty is down into third, and I don't think he's got the tyres or the grip to come back at IR Graham. Maybe I was wrong. Further back we've got some battling. We've got Matt Psycho now ahead of Liam Anfield, and Liam Anfield trying to fight back against the Beamer, while Stevie Styler is ahead of both of them, and there's no room for either the BMW or the Alfa Romeo. So IR Graham still there ahead of Guesty in third. Guesty's trying to come back for that second spot. He's not quite being able to stay with him. He's out on the dirt. Stevie Styler in fourth, with Matt Psycho now firmly ahead of his closest rival Liam Anfield. There is Racer Brown in 7th spot ahead of Gazman in 8th place, with Homesick Alien in 9th. Noxie is in 10th, and I don't know if Daz has resumed or he's still ghosted. He's still ghosted. So there we go. Lil's GP crossing the line to start lap 9, and his final lap. That fuel's just about made it in the BMW. How weird. And IR Graham crossing the line in second spot. He's got himself a little breathing space from Guesty now, but it's only one mistake away from losing that position. The flags come out for Racer Brown's crossed the line in 6th. Gazman in 7th. Liam Anfield down into 8th. My word, why? Oh my, oh my. He was there fighting Matt Psycho. Oh, there we see, lost the car on the corner as he exited. Oh, this is great for Matt Psycho's championship, not great for Liam Anfield's. He's lost a position to Racer Brown. So Racer Brown gaining 6th spot. He must be well pleased, bro, about that. And Racer Brown coming to cross the line as we dead on hit the 15-minute mark, and there he goes. He's gone across in 6th, Gazman 7th, Liam Anfield in 8th, Homesick Alien 9th, Noxie finishing in 10th. So the lead then, Little's GP ahead of IR Graham, Guesty, Stevie Styler holding off Matt Psycho. Can he hold him off all the way to the line? We're watching Little's GP. He's got quite a way to go before he gets to the finish line. That fuel is depleting rapidly. And there, IR Graham, he's pulled a lovely little gap away from Guesty now. Guesty just bringing it home, I would assume, to try and grab that podium. Not do anything silly. So Stevie Styler or Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho's going to make a move before the end of the lap. You just can feel it. He's there getting himself lined up, finding a weakness in that McLaren so he can exploit it. Heavy on the brakes around the outside. He's going to tuck up to the inside, but Stevie Styler's got it covered. And it's closer now than it has been before. He's gone out wide to try and get a better line, a better run at the McLaren, but it's just not working for him. Meanwhile, his teammate is coming around the final corner to grab the win of this race. I think he's having to short shift now because of the fuel. Oh, not quite the final corner. There's a dog leg in there before. They come round to take the win. And here he comes, Little's GP. Across the line for the win. Congratulations. IR Graham bringing the Alfa Romeo home in second spot. He won the last feature race. And Guesty grabbing third. Ooh, I'm going to pause that, sorry. Because I think those two are quite close together, aren't they? I don't think Matt Psycho is going to overtake Stevie Styler before the line. Ooh. Yeah, no. That's as close as I dare get. So, that was the sprint race, and how exhilarating was that, boys and girls? Cracking stuff. Binko in the chat. I can't believe how many early birds we have, part of the Virtual Racers Club. Binko in the chat saying nothing like a good race before going to bed. Looking forward to watching the rest tonight. Ah, Binko's a night crawler like me, a vampire, the worker of the night. Lovely stuff. Good night, Binko. Sleep tight, mate. Mind the bed bugs don't bite. Sweet dreams. So, Little's GP takes another win. Another cup for his trophy. That will be his 7th win this season out of 15. That is an amazing ratio, and that is why he's on the top of the table. Second spot for IR Graham. Could have been a contender. Could have been a contender if it wasn't for the damned internet, where he missed a couple of rounds due to internet issues. His or ours, one or the other, not sure. Who couldn't guess with the internet? But he grabs himself a fine second spot. He's won 4 times this season, and he's looking like he wants another one before the end of the championship. Guesty in a great third spot there from Guesty. He was in second, but those tyres in the Aston Martin do burn out, so it was always going to be a struggle for him to maintain that second spot. And third, oh, it's equaled one of his best result in round 2 in the sprint. He got a third. So, Guesty, take a boo, my son. Cracking stuff. More of those, mate. Sip the champagne. Then Stevie Styler, cracking 4th place under so much pressure. First from Liam Anfield, then from Matt Psycho. And Stevie Styler managing to bring that McLaren home for 4th spot, which I believe is his highest finish this season. He managed a 5th in round 2 in the sprint race. Other than that, yeah, 4th. Brilliant stuff. The McLaren's starting to move in the right direction. And Binko says, I don't get bed bugs. I have cats and ferrets for that job. Nice. Matt Psycho bringing that BMW home in 5th place. It's going to do great stuff for his championship with Liam Anfield finishing behind him. But I am sure after seeing his teammate winning with such dominance, he'll want to have a better showing in the feature race. A Racer Brown, an up and down race, up and down. Looked like he had struggles early on in the sprint, but due to other people's issues and racing, managed to drag that Aston Martin up into a 6th spot. So, Racer Brown, I salute you. 7th place for Gasman, a great haul of points that, 7th. He's in a battle with Homesick Alien in the championship, I believe. Hang on, let me just double check on that little factoid. Homesick Alien 6th on 215 points. Gasman is 7th on 204 points. So 11 points breaks him and Homesick Alien up, and him finishing 2 places ahead of the Alien will help his position in the championship no end. In 8th place, Liam Anfield. Oh, he'll be screwing in that car, I imagine. Absolutely screwing. So Liam Anfield finishing in 8th place. Could have been so much more, chasing the McLaren down the whole race in 5th place. Just lost the Alpha on a corner at the back end, just stepping out on him. Homesick Alien, these rubbish camera angles, I apologise, it's not letting me have anything else here. I could go chase, I suppose. There you go. There's Homesick Alien. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Alien, happy birthday to you. Grabbing a 9th. Noxie, dare I? Oh my god, that's even worse. Oh my god. It's not nice. So Noxie finishing in 10th place. He had an up and down race in that little battle there with Gasman, Homesick, Liam Anfield, and everyone. And Daz, I think he had to step away mid-race. It looks like at lap 6 he was on the Ghost, and he gets himself an 11th spot. Right then, that's it. Let us watch Matt Psycho and Matt Psycho and Stevie Styler get their finishing positions. We'll have a look at the magic spinny wheel to see what the number is, and then we will move on to the feature race. Meow meow. That was it. That was quick. So where is the randomator? Oh no, well I'll get the other thing loaded up. And that's the one. Excuse me, windy pops. It's because I was slurping my coffee while I was still talking to you. Hang on, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the Discord group so I can look at the randomator before I press play, because it'll random draw. I just want to watch the video. I love watching the little video. I like the wheel spinning round. Whee! Here it goes. Whee! It's going round. It's going round. Slowing down. 12, 15, 4. 4! Yay! So the grid reverses in 4th spot, which, hang on, memory serves me right, will be Stevie Styler on pole then, I believe. That will be it. Oh, it just keeps going round and round, this wheel. It's cool. I like the noises it makes. It goes tink, 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 tink. So yeah, I'll stop playing with the randomator wheel now. So yeah, Stevie Styler sitting on pole position. It reverses from the finishing order. Stevie Styler finishing in 4th, Guesty in 2nd, IR Graham 3rd, and Little's GP there 4th. That's the reverse. Everyone else starts where they finished. Matt Psycho in 5th, and Racer Brown 6th, Gasman 7th. Let me get rid of those big numbers because they're kind of obscene. And we are going to settle down for ourselves a lovely 40-minute endurance race here in the Group 3 cars. And Stevie Styler, with a rolling start, leads them away. He's on the racing soft. Guesty starting on the racing soft. IR Graham starting on the racing soft. And Lil GP, he's going with super softs ahead of his teammate on the softs, with Racer Brown on the softs, Gasman softs. They're off, they're on their way. Liam Anfield on the softs, Homesick on the super softs, Noxie on the super softs. Daz has gone for softs, and Pace has joined us in the Chevy. But already Stevie Styler under threat from Guesty. They've both gone into the corner at the same time. Guesty is going on, and it looked like Stevie Styler had to get a little bit of thing, and Stevie Styler's having a bump with almost everyone who's coming past. Guesty there leading in the Aston Martin. IR Graham moving up into 2nd. Little's GP is up into 3rd, with Stevie Styler there trying to split the BMWs. Matt Psycho in 5th, Racer Brown in 6th. He's got Liam just behind him in 7th. Gasman in the Lexus in 8th. He's getting overtaken by the Alien, though no, the Alien just drops back into 9th place. Pace is already up into 10th ahead of Noxie and Daz in the Jaguar. Guesty then leading the way from IR Graham. This battle again, and we know how it ended the first time rounds. And Skyjacker saying it's the wheel of misfortune. Oh my lord, Guesty looks like he was going a little wide there with IR Graham getting ever closer. Little GP trying to fight off Stevie Styler, and Matt Psycho there in 5th place. Let's get on board with Matt Psycho and watch it from his point of view while I quickly get through the chats. Skyjacker says you gotta love it. He's talking about the wheel, and there's Stevie Styler. Oh my lord, Stevie Styler. It's Stevie Styler. He hit the barrier and he come back out and bounced into Matt Psycho. Oh my words. Poor Matt Psycho. We'll see how that affects. We're just going to see again. He's out wide. He's there. He's hit the barrier and bang. Oh, poor Matt Psycho. But he hasn't lost any positions yet. He got himself ahead of Stevie Styler from it. And he's trying to battle his way through the corner, and now they've got everyone upon him. Liam Anfield's going up the side of Stevie Styler, it looks like, and Racer Brown there in 7th, look poised, ready to make a move, and there we go. Oh no, Stevie Styler has got himself that position. Well, he's kept hold of that position with Liam Anfield there in 6th, and the grunt of the Aston Martin looking for a way past the Alfa and the McLaren. They're going to be 3 wide as they get to the corner. My words. And there the Alfa nips up the inside of the McLaren. Stevie Styler down into 6th. Racer Brown still in 7th. Gasman in 8th. Homesick Alien in 9th, right on the back bumper of that Lexus with the Chevy, looking like he's wanting to come through there with a pace. There the South African looking feisty as hell. Up in the lead then we've got Guesty ahead of IR Graham. IR Graham is really under pressure from Little's GP. Sorry, I had a clatter in the kitchen, but it's alright. It was the stool falling over for some reason, and the cat seems to be bouncing around like a lunatic, so I don't know what's got him all worked up. Guesty then leading the way from IR Graham. These top 3, line astern, and Lil GP on those super softs. Matt Psycho in 4th with Liam Anfield now up into 5th ahead of Stevie Styler. Stevie Styler's trying to battle off Racer Brown. Homesick Alien is up into 8th with pace very close. Gasman has dropped down a little bit for some reason. Noxie in 10th place, and Daz there in 11th, still on the back of the pack. We're only on lap 2, 3 minutes into this 40-minute race. Guesty still leading, but he can feel the pressure from the Alpha. They're both wiggling out of the corner. Matt Little's GP will be loving to see that. He is really there now. He wants to get past. He's got those super softs on. He wants to make hay. He's got to get those fast lap times in. He's got to get them qualifying laps in. And Racer Brown in the chat saying lol, I think, when I was talking about the spinny wheel and the little noises it makes. So my Little's GP sitting there, he's looking for a move on IR Graham. IR Graham taking the defensive line, making a Little's GP go the long way. Matt Psycho ever getting closer. He got the fastest lap so far on lap 2. Liam Anfield can't quite stay close to Matt Psycho, but Liam Anfield we've seen before trying to make a one-stop work here, so he might be fuel conserving or something. The feature race has been interesting this season with a mixture of is Little's GP getting the move done on IR Graham. IR Graham still keeping that Alpha very defensive, planted on the inside of these corners. He's hit the barrier now. Has that taken the wind out of his sails? Can Little's GP get the momentum to get ahead of the Alpha? He's going for the outside again. IR Graham defending his inside line, but Little's GP, he looks like he's got the car ahead. He's got the Beamer ahead, and there you go. Little's GP takes 2nd spot from IR Graham, who we saw have a little bump of the barrier, and he lost a little momentum there, and Little's GP just managed to power that Beamer straight past the Alpha. Now he's got his eyes set on Guesty leading the way in his Aston Martin. Lil GP in 2nd, IR Graham in 3rd, Matt Psycho in 4th. Seen just what his teammate did, and he'll be aiming to do the same thing next. Liam Anfield in 5th, Racer Brown in 6th, Homesick Alien in 7th, so Stevie Styler's dropped down even further now in 8th, Pace in 9th, with Gasman in 10th and Noxie in 11th, and it looks like we lost Daz, so some major issues in the Daz household. And Guesty leading the way. You got the fastest lap on lap 3. Come on, Guesty. This is yours to win, my friend. Little GP, though, he'll have something to say about that. He'll be wanting to get win number 8. It is win number 8, isn't it? I did count up, said 7. Yeah, it's 7 so far, so he'll be looking for win number 8. Is Little GP. IR Graham wanting to add it to his tally. of 4. I took a win away from Aya Graham then. Matt Psycho. He's had 1 win this season. He's had so many second places, but he got a win in the feature in round 2. So he'll be looking to add to those wins, especially with Liam Anfield just ahead of him in second place in the championship. He lost some points in that first race, but he's very close to the Beamer in this race. Racer Brown in 6, getting closer to the Alfa Romeo. Looks like Homesick Alien. He's getting through his fuel. Where are we? We're only 6.5 minutes into this race. These guys, I think they're all going to have to 2-stop. No one's fuel seems to be saving that well. They seem to be getting through their fuel rather quickly. Gasman there in 10th place, and Noxie, his teammate, in 11th. Those Lexuses have not been looked fun to drive this season. Guesty then again crossing the line of 41.1. Little GP, Matt Psycho's into the pits already. Matt Psycho very early on that. 7 minutes into a 40-minute race, and Matt Psycho into the pits. We see his team mechanics still wearing their Aston Martin gear. I heard he got a win at the weekend, Matt Psycho, in the Formula X. So congratulations to Matt Psycho. Guesty leading from Little's GP. And IR Graham now in 3rd, with Liam Anfield moving up into 4th. Racer Brown in 5th. Homesick Alien in 6th place. KLM Pace has got himself ahead of Stevie Styler. Stevie Styler, I don't know the game he's playing in that McLaren, but he seems to just be dropping. Each lap there seems to be a new car getting past. And Racer Brown saying fuel was an issue with this track, so there you go. Yeah, they're not being able to conserve. They're all having to do more pit stops than they probably would be liking to. And where did Matt Psycho come out? Oh, he's right at the back in 11th. Looks like you lose around about 26 seconds for a pit stop. And there is Matt Psycho. He's put the super softs on, filled right up. So he's going to be out there doing some absolute blast of laps. Guesty, half a tank of fuel at the 8.5 minute point. His tyres still looking okay for an Aston Martin. Little's GP, tyres looking better, about half a tank of fuel. Did a 41.0 his last time around. Guesty, 40.9. So nothing in it between Guesty and Little's GP. Come on, Guesty. I'm getting that agitated, like that uncomfortable sort of foot tappy shaky feeling. Come on, Guesty, you can do this. So IR Graham there in 3rd. The Shark is waiting to leap up a couple more positions. Liam Anfield in 4th, trying to protect that 2nd place in the championship. Racer Brown for the Aston Martin, I mean. Oh, fuel was an issue for the Aston Martin, is what Racer Brown says in the chat. So Liam Anfield in 4th, Racer Brown. Oh, Liam Anfield's on the barrier. Liam Anfield has gone to the barrier, and now Racer Brown moving up into 4th place for Aston Martin. This will do great for them in the Constructors' Championship. Liam Anfield dropping down into 5th place. Pace is up into 6th. He's got himself ahead of the Alien. And Homesick Alien, maybe similar fuel loads on both those cars. Homesick Alien doing a 41.5 his last time around. KLM Pace doing a 40.5. He's really starting to bring that Chevy to life at this point in the race. He's up into 6th place. 7th for Homesick Alien. 8th for Stevie Styler. 9th for Gasman. That's not 10th. 10th for Noxie. And 11th there for Matt Psycho. Really behind the rest of the field. He's getting faster lap times right now, but it's a very strange strategy. And Guesty still leading the way. He must be starting to feel the pinch on those tyres. Little's GP did his fastest the last time around, a 40.901, with Guesty doing a 41.1. So it's only a couple of tenths, but Little's GP is starting to pull that Aston Martin in now. And IR Graham, he looks like he's dropping away from these guys. A 42.1 from the Aston Martin the last time round. I don't know if IR Graham is trying to fuel save. It does look like it. Half a tank of fuel in 11 minutes. And we say for a one stop, they want to have around about half a tank of fuel at the 10-minute mark. And IR Graham is looking like he's on track for a one-stop strategy. Hills GP, he's a little bit under half a tank, so maybe he's doing one stop as well. But he is catching up that Aston Martin for sure. Racer Brown in 4th place, with Liam Anfield dropping into 5th, with pace right on his tail in the Chevy. Homesick Alien keeping to the back of those in 7th. Stevie Styler in 8th in the McLaren. Gasman in 9th, with Noxie in 10th, and Matt Psycho on an absolute humdinger, trying to come back from an early stop strategy. Let's get on board and enjoy a lap here of Sardinia. We're about 12 minutes into this 40-minute race. Oh, that looks scary through there. Looks like the car just wants to wash out. Heavy on the brakes here, real tight corner as we're on to, I'd say, the final straight, but there is a dog leg. It should be flat out though. Let's have a look as we're sat. There we go. Yeah, no lift whatsoever. A bit of wheel screech, and now we're on the start straight, going up towards the first corner as we cross the line to post to 40.9. This first corner very tight. To the left, you've got to get on those brakes. If you make a mistake, you're out there. You're right out there on that dust. And there he goes through. Right, then left again. Heavy onto the accelerator, up into 5th gear. Heavy on the brakes again, down here into 3rd gear, and then it's even more braking to get a real hairpin in 2nd gear. He's done it in that corner. And he's moving along. I guess he's still leading from Lils GP, with IR Graham in 3rd place. Now on the brakes again. This is not so slow. You think it's slower, but you can get some speed through that corner. And there we go, coming up. Just sweeping around to the right. A little kink to the left, and then it's really heavy on the brakes as we're going downhill. And it's 100-meter marker. He's on to the brakes, getting them gears down. He's gone down into 1st gear, and he's through. And we're nearly done a lap with Matt Psycho here. And Guesty's coming to the pits. Guesty has come into the pits. So Guesty pulling the trigger. He's done. Oh, he's got under a quarter of tank of fuel. And there, Lil GP, his tyres are looking quite red. He's got just over a quarter of a tank of fuel. I don't think that's enough for a one stop. IR Graham, yes. IR Graham definitely on a one stop. Racer Brown starting to catch him up. Looks like Racer Brown, he's given up on a one-stop strategy, and he's trying to burn through that fuel. Pace very getting close to Racer Brown now in that Chevy. He's not doing a one-stop either. Liam Anfield, it doesn't look like he can manage it. Homesick Alien in 6th place, still on the tail of that little crew. So it's not all over for the birthday boy. In 7th we have Noxie. 8th Matt Psycho. So Guesty's come out the pits behind Matt Psycho. So Matt Psycho, and he's just got the fastest lap with a 40.404. So things are looking good for Matt Psycho at the moment. He's ahead of who was the leader of this race. And how far ahead? Quite far ahead. So Guesty, looks like he's lost a little bit of time in his pit stop. Definitely to Matt Psycho. Stevie Styler, he also pitted. He's come out behind Guesty, and Gasman must have pitted also, yes, behind Stevie Styler. So they're the first of our pit stop as well. Obviously Matt Psycho was the first, but they're the what you would normally think was the 2 stops guys. There's Little GP still heading on. IR Graham is under immense pressure now from Racer Brown, and there goes Pace. We saw Pace nipping into the pits. He wants some new fuel and some new tyres. We're at the 15.5 minute mark. Little GP cracking on with Racer Brown under immense pressure from... Oh no, Racer Brown's got ahead of IR Graham, hasn't he? Because IR Graham was ahead of Racer Brown. So Racer Brown absolutely on a push through right now. IR Graham, we think, might be trying to conserve fuel. So I suppose he didn't race around too hard, possibly. Liam Anfield there, he looks like he's also fuel conserving. Looks like those Alphas are really going to try and make the one stop work. Mummy Psycho in the chat saying, come on Matt. He's up into 7th so far. Homesick Alien in 5th. These guys haven't pitted yet. Noxie in 6th. Oh, Noxie's fuel is on vapours, so he'll be coming in at the end of this lap. Matt Psycho there in 7th. He's got himself ahead of Guesty in the pit stops with that early pit stop. Half a tank of fuel. His tyres are still looking good. This could be a shrewd move from Matt Psycho. Guesty in 8th with pace now coming out of the pits in 9th, just behind. No, just ahead, sorry, of Stevie Styler. There's Stevie Styler in 10th and Gazman in 11th place. This could be anyone's race at the moment. Lil GP looking very good. But Matt Psycho, I think after they've all pitted, will be leading this race. We'll have to see what the one-stop guys are doing. Looks like IR Graham using Racer Brown now for a tow. He's getting some fuel conserve out of that Aston Martin. Oh, nice camera shot there. Let's have a look. There you go. Beautiful. And there we see a Racer Brown in second spot, towing IR Graham around. Beautiful stuff there. I imagine the big wigs back at Aston Martin probably won't appreciate it as much as Alfa Romeo are ahead of them in the championship. Noxie now disappearing into the pits. We said he would be. He was running on vapours. That puts Matt Psycho up into 6th place. Kaboom. Kaboom, kaboom, says Matt Psycho as he drives past all of these guys. Super driving there for the BMW driver, and there's his teammate leading the way. Lil GP, he got the win in the first race. Can he go for the double feature? And Racer Brown, he might have something to say about that, but Racer Brown's fuel is now flashing, and IR Graham is saying, all right, it's time to get by. I've used you for what I can use you for, and I've got to get a move on. I've got to crack on. We've got 2 minutes away from that one stop, and it looks like Lil GP is also going to make a one stop out of this race at 18 minutes. IR Graham, Racer Brown's not going to quite make it there. He's going to have to come in and probably do a splash and dash before the end of the race. Liam Anfield, he's making the one-stop work for him at the moment. The top 4 are all in spitting distance of each other. This is amazing racing. Excuse me. 5th place there, Homesick Alien. His fuel is also flashing. Looks like he's going to have to pit at the end of this lap, which is imminently. So there you go, a Little GP, he continues on, and IR Graham now on a push to try and get the win. We're going to expect the Aston Martin of Racer Brown to disappear into the pits as it does. Liam Anfield moving up into 3rd place. Homesick Alien joining him in the Mercedes, and here comes the BMW of Matt Psycho. Looks like he's going to get another 2 places from his pit stop. Boom, boom. There he goes. Banging the drum. Matt Psycho up into 4th place. What a guy. Smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast. Guesty there, the early leader of the race, in 5th place for now. Waiting to see what happens to the one-stop guys. And we are now 19.5 minutes into this race. We're 30 seconds away from the halfway point. You can see Lil GP's tyres are pretty mullered. His fuel is pretty much depleted. IR Graham there, he's got a little bit of fuel to play with. Maybe he'll stay out for one more lap. We don't know. His fuel's just gone into the red. I reckon he could get another lap out of that. I don't think Liam Anfield's going to get another lap out of it though. Stewie in the chat saying, what's this? This is the GTMC Season 4, Round 8 of the Virtual Racers Club. And Matt Psycho then in 4th place. He's done really well. He pitted very, very early. We expected that was a mistake, but so far it's worked out very well for him. 5th place Guesty leading in the early part of this race before his pit stop. And when he came out, there's Lil GP. Lil GP has gone in, and IR Graham has stayed out. Liam Anfield's joined Little's GP, Matt Psycho there in 4th. He's just coming down at the start straight before the dog leg. IR Graham staying out for one more lap. We said we might. We said he might, and he has. Matt Psycho then, can he move this car up into 2nd place? He's there. He's there. And there's Liam Anfield. He's having to fuel up. There is Little GP. These two have got to tank the cars right to the top. Guesty moving ahead as well. But these guys will have to pit again before the end of this race, we suspect. And they will, for sure. So IR Graham still not pitting, with Matt Psycho there in 2nd place, Guesty in 3rd, Pace moving up into 4th. He got the fastest lap in lap 12 with a 1:40.304. Racer Brown in 5th. Little's GP's come out in 6th ahead of Stevie Styler behind Racer Brown. Racer Brown on that 2-stop strategy. He's not going to be easy to get past. Little's GP, a heavier car on the racing softs. Stevie Styler on the super softs with only half the weight with that fuel tank. Gasman in 8th. Liam Anfield's come out in 9th place behind Gasman. Homesick Aliens come out in 10th place, and Noxie is in 11th spot. So IR Graham, we assume, is going to pit on this lap, and Matt Psycho will take over the lead of the race. And here comes IR Graham, his one stop. He's gone late into the race, 22 minutes. With only 18 more minutes, we assume he's going to put the super softs on. The rule is you have to use 2 compounds. And there goes IR Graham succumbing around the final bend. Matt Psycho in his BMW. He will have to pit very soon. His fuel is low, so his lead will be short until he's back into the pits, and then he's going to have to overtake the one-stoppers. But he will have fresher tyres to do so. So Matt Psycho then heading up to the first corner in the lead of this race. Guesty taking 2nd spot. He's still got a quarter of a tank of fuel. Pace then moving up into 3rd. Pace's fuel looking very good. It's not enough, I believe, to get all the way to the end of the race. Ooh, late on those brakes, cracking stuff there. Racer Brown in 4th, still ahead of Little's GP. This will be frustrating Little's GP. He would want a clear run, and Stevie Styler is stuck to the back of that BMW. The BMW beefed up right on fuel, remember? And the cars around him have got a lot less fuel in, so their cars will be feeling a little more nimble. Racer Brown's fuel, not too bad. It looked like he got a wiggle on coming out that corner. That might give Little's GP an opportunity to come back at him. Stevie Styler in 6th place with Gasman in 7th spot, not too far behind these guys. IR Graham there. IR Graham, after his pit stop, he's come out in 8th place. That's quite a way back. Everyone's got a pit in front of him, but still, Liam Anfield, he's ahead of his teammate with Homesick Alien in 10th place and Noxie in 11th. So Matt Psycho leading. His fuel has started flashing. Will he come in at the end of this one? I think he will. I think that fuel is way too low for him to push it for another lap. So what did he do? Led for a 1 lap. But it's great looking. For when he comes out, he's got to get past the one-stoppers, but their tyres will be quite depleted by the end of this race. There goes Matt Psycho into the pits, into the pits, pets at home. And Guesty retakes the lead of this race that he had earlier on, with Pace in 2nd. Pace getting ever closer to Guesty. Now 1:40.5 his last time around. Guesty doing a 40.9. Stevie Styler now up into 3rd. He's got himself ahead of Racer Brown. Now, I don't know how that happened. With Little's GP even further back, something big happened here, I believe. So, Little's GP got himself ahead of Stevie Styler and Racer Brown. Ooh, he tapped the barrier. He had a bit of a knock with the barrier. Ah, poor Little's GP. Had a tap. We didn't see how he got ahead of Racer Brown, but he did, and Stevie Styler somehow got ahead of Racer Brown in all the melees. And now Stevie Styler up into 3rd spot. Pace in 2nd. Racer Brown very close to the McLaren behind, though, fighting for everything it's got. Little's GP, he's under pressure from Gasman now. Gasman on them super soft tyres, low on fuel, is looking at the back of that BMW, and the BMW's got to be mindful that these tyres and fuel's got to last him the rest of this race, so he can't go just burning it. And IR Graham is not far behind. IR Graham trying to catch back up with Lil's GP, with Liam Anfield just behind him, and it's going to be very intriguing to see where the two stoppers shake out. Matt Psycho out back there in 10th, so he knows Homesick Alien's going to have to pit again in this race, but he's going to have to try and get past Liam Anfield and IR Graham. Gazman will pit, and Lil's GP. Everyone else, I think, will have to pit before the end of the race, but a very tantalising race ahead of us. Guesty out there in the lead. His fuel has started flashing. We're at the 20, just coming up to the 26-minute mark. Oh, be careful out there, Guesty. We saw what happened to Lil's GP. There is Pace. Pace on an absolutely flying job at the moment. I want to say a flying pace, but that's his name, so it says what it does on the can. Guesty and Pace both into the pits. Stevie Styler with Racer Brown hot on his heels. They're carrying on for another lap. Stevie Styler low on fuel. Racer Brown has got plenty to go around. Little's GP moving up into third. Loads of people are pitting right now. So Little's GP moving up into third. IR Graham in fourth. Liam Anfield in fifth. Homesick Alien in sixth. He continues on. Guesty's in the pits. Gazman's in the pit. Pace is in the pits. And Matt Psycho moves up into 7th place. It looked like someone was just getting released then, was they? No. Oh, Pace maybe. But he's ended up behind Matt Psycho. But Matt Psycho, he's got to be concerned with Pace's lap times. He's a very fast lad out there to have just behind you. As the rest, as we've got still, what, 13 minutes left to race here at Sardinia A for round 8 of the GTMC. And Stevie Styler's under a lot of pressure from Racer Brown. Racer Brown's going for the outside line. Stevie Styler being defensive, but Racer Brown's just edged it ahead. But I think Stevie Styler is having to short shift because of his fuel. And Lil's GP there thinking, oh, these two are going to go into the pits, and then it's going to be my lead until the checkered flag. But Racer Brown doing all he can to stay ahead of Stevie Styler. Stevie Styler must go into the pits on this lap. It's got to be. He can't take that McLaren around another try. Little GP there sitting in wait with IR Graham not too far behind Liam Anfield. And there is Homesick Alien. And he's still got half a tank of fuel. Has he been into the pits again recently? No. Maybe he is one stopping. I don't think he got all halfway though. There we go. Racer Brown and Stevie Styler both nipped into the pits together, and that puts Lil GP up into. I'm surprised Racer Brown pitted, but he's not going to have to pit as long. He had more fuel in than Stevie Styler, so you would assume Racer Brown will have a shorter pit stop. Matt Psycho moving up into 5th place now, with Pace very close behind him. And Matt Psycho is going to have to do some very defensive driving against that Chevy. Lil GP then leading the way from IR Graham. It's a nice distance that Lil GP's got, with only about 11.5 minutes left of a racing here at Sardinia. Liam Anfield sitting in a great 3rd place, with Homesick Alien in 4th place, with Matt Psycho there in 5th, ahead of Pace now. Pace hot on his heels. He's getting purples and he's looking for a way past that BMW with whatever means he can. He's on the super soft tyres, is the South African. There we see the BMW trying to defend this inside line. It looks like pure grunt in that Chevy, managing to get up alongside Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho under pressure from Pace, and that's it. Pace has made the move. He's got himself ahead of the BMW. Lil GP leading the race from IR Graham. Liam Anfield in 3rd. Homesick Alien in 4th spot, with Pace now up into 5th. Matt Psycho in 6th. Guesty in 7th place, ahead of Racer Brown in 8th. Teammates there in 9th is Stevie Styler, not too far behind Racer Brown. Oh, Racer Brown's hit the wall. Racer Brown, I saw the spark, so it looks like Stevie Styler is going to close that gap between the Aston Martin. Oh no, Racer Brown's dropped it. Racer Brown's lost the rear end of the Aston Martin, and Stevie Styler just drives by saying thank you very much. Gift. He's now emailing Racer Brown to remember to tick the gift aid box in that one. Racer Brown down into 9th place, 10th for Gasman and 11th for Noxie. I feel we've lost someone. Daz, I believe, is it? Possibly. Little GP leading the way from IR Graham. Looks like that distance is staying the same. Little GP did a 140.9 his last time around. IR Graham a 41.1 in the Alpha, so IR Graham not as fast as Little GP at this point in the race. Liam Anfield a 41.7 also. These guys keeping that fuel steady to make it all the way home. Homesick Alien also, he's done great with his fuel. I thought he pitted a little bit too early for a one stop to work, but he is making it work. Pace there in 5th. He's pulled away from Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho pacing the car. He's got to get that fuel to last, and pace, it'll be interesting to see if he's just going to do some real fast laps and then do some fuel save. Who knows? Matt Psycho in 6th, Guesty in 7th in that Aston Martin, Stevie Styler in 8th, and Racer Brown down in 9th. He's got quite a distance on Gasman, and it's not all over. Stevie Styler's not out of the picture yet for Racer Brown. Still could be an opportunity before the end of this race, but we are into the last 8 minutes nearly, and Lil GP is leading from IR Graham. IR Graham a 41.1 last time around. Lil GP a 40.9. So IR Graham just a few tenths slower than the BMW. The fuel looks marginal between the two of them, and the tyres look similar also. So this will be a very tantalising race. We see Little GP going for win number 8. IR Graham trying to grab himself win number 5. Liam Anfield hoping they drive into each other and he can get himself a win number 4 of this season. Homesick Alien in 4th. This is a cracking job for the Alien on his well, this race was yesterday, but it's today that is his birthday. So the Alien, he's not had a win this season. He's had a 2nd, a couple of 4ths, but at this point in the race I think a win is off of the books. He's a little bit too far back for that. There is the leader. Well, not too far. Okay, have a good day, love you, safe cycle. Okay, so Little GP, hey, that was a little treat. Did you hear my wife tell you all that she loved you? Little GP then leading from IR Graham, and Liam Anfield in 3rd spot. Homesick Alien, I'm not, you know, he's not a million miles away from the top 3, but he needs something drastic to happen to them. He can see Liam Anfield in the distance. Pace though, he's on an absolute push with those 40.3s. He's catching up the Alien doing 41.9s at this point in the race, and Pace is absolutely he's shuffling. If ever there was some shuffling going on, then Pace is doing it with these lap times. Matt Psycho, he's staying within shouting distance of the Corvettes. A 41.0 for Matt Psycho last time around. Guesty a 40.7. Could Guesty catch up Matt Psycho? They're not 100 miles apart. Stevie Styler in 8th, still ahead of Racer Brown in 9th. Racer Brown getting purples near the end of this race. Gasman in 10th with Noxie there in 11th. Those Lexuses, they'll be happy to see the backs of them, I am sure. Little GP, it looks like it's getting closer between Little GP and IR Graham. IR Graham a 41.1, a 41.9 last time from Little GP. Is Little GP starting to turn down his fuel? Is he having to be a bit more conservative with his fuel? It doesn't look like it. His tyres do look a little bit more worn than IR Graham's. Another 41.9 from Lidl's GP. That last time around, IR Graham at 40.8. Nearly a second faster. What is happening here? This is crazy. My YouTube's all frozen up. Sorry, guys. So, wow. Could have a big finale for this race. We've got 5 more minutes, although Lil GP could just be keeping IR Graham at bay. And if IR Graham gets any closer to him, Lil GP could just sort of drop it and go flying again. Liam Anfield dropped away from that battle there. Homesick Alien, is he getting any closer? A 42.4 last time from Homesick Alien. A 42.0 from Liam Anfield. So no, Alien's not getting any faster than that. But oh, pace is an absolute rocker of a race at the moment. A 40.1 for the Chevy. Matt Psycho at 40.7. So Matt Psycho faster than the other guys out there. Plenty of fuel. This could all close up by the end of the race, like these ones I said before. These one-stoppers, their tyres do get tired. Their tyres get old by the end of their stints, and they struggle to get the pace down. Whereas the two stoppers, like Pace and Matt Psycho, will be absolutely flying come the end of the race. It does look like IR Graham is catching up the BMW. This is so tantalising. Liam Anfield, you can see him off in the distance. Homesick Alien there, you can see Liam Anfield, but I bet he can see a Pace even closer in his mirrors. 40.4 from Pace last time around, 42.2 for the Alien. His tyres are absolutely burnt out, and his fuel is starting to look low, where Pace, he's still got plenty of fuel on, lovely sticky tyres, and he is up for that 4th position, I reckon. Lil GP still out there, 41.2 last time around for the BMW driver. IR Graham at 41.3, a little bit slower than the championship leader, but IR Graham, he's looking like he's going to go for the win. He's only got 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes to do it. 37 minutes into this race now. We're coming up to 37.5 minutes. Liam Anfield sitting in 3rd. And Pace, has he already done it? He has, and Homesick was ahead of him. So Pace already making the move on the Mercedes. Oh, we'll have a quick look. We haven't seen an overtake for a while, have we? So we'll watch. And there we see Pace in 5th place. And there it's just easy pickings from the Mercedes that's fuel saving and has old tyres on. Mercedes took straight in behind the Chevy to try and grab a tow and save a bit more fuel down that straight. Lil GP then still leading. Is he going to keep hold of this? Oh, IR Graham looking absolutely ragged out of that corner. He's driving that Alpha on the very edge, doing all he can. He wants to win. Liam Anfield there. Is Liam Anfield under stress from Pace? He's quite far back. Liam Anfield at 41.8 last time around. Pace 40.4. He's a second faster. He can see the Alpha down the road. And oh my lord, Homesick Alien has got Matt Psycho heading towards him. We said Matt Psycho's going to have to get past the one-stoppers, and he's only just starting to catch up Alien and now into the last 2 minutes of this race. So it didn't quite work out for the two-stoppers this race. It definitely looked like those that could do the one-stop have got better out of it. But now Matt Psycho on those fresh tyres, catching up with the Mercedes, going for the move early. He's not hanging around. He's up alongside. Nothing the Alien can do. His tyres are done, and his fuel is low, and he wants it to last till the end of the race. But we're coming up to the last minute of this race, and Little's GP leads from IR Graham. I don't think there's anything now IR Graham can do about this. He looks like he's dropped further back from the BMW, but both Alphas on the podium. It's going to be great for the manufacturers. Pace, it looks like he's just too fast for Matt Psycho today. And it doesn't look like those guys are going to catch any of the top 3 up. Homesick Alien dropping down into 6th spot. His fuel started flashing. We're less than a minute left of this race. Guesty there in 7th. Is he close enough to the Alien to make a difference? Oh, Guesty's fuel's flashing too, but he's, oh no, Guesty's got less fuel on than the Alien. And there, Stevie Styler's fuel starting to flash. Racer Brown in 9th place. Gasman there in 10th. Noxie in 11th. And here comes Little's GP, not quite. He's got another 20 seconds of this race. He's going to have to go around again, as does IR Graham. The 2 leaders continuing on in this race. Liam Anfield crosses the line. With a few seconds to spare, he's going to continue on. And so is Pace. Matt Psycho, as he got across the line, he did. So Homesick Alien finishing in 6th with Guesty in 7th. Stevie Styler coming around the line, the dog leg to come in 8th spot. Ooh, he only just made it on that fuel. Racer Brown coming on home for Aston Martin in 9th. Gasman bringing the lead Lexus home ahead of Noxie, his teammate. And those Lexuses do not look like they enjoyed this track today. There goes Gasman and Noxie coming around. So we'll have a look at Little's GP. Looks like IR Graham has pulled a little bit closer near the end of this race, but it's all a little bit too late. And Little's GP has got this race fully under control. Liam Anfield there in 3rd spot. Pace is getting closer to Liam Anfield, but I just don't think he's got enough track to do anything about them. And it looks like that top 3 is going to finish the way it's going to finish. Little GP now pulling into the final corner. And then there's just one dog leg to go before the victory flag. The checkered flag, victory lane, and the double win coming at Little GP. Here he comes in round 8. He takes win number 2. Fantastic. And IR Graham taking the 2nd podium step, with Liam Anfield rounding off your podium. Take a boo, my son. Pace getting across the line in 4th spot, and Matt Psycho is a definite 5th. Wow, what a race that was. Interesting stuff. It looks like the one stop was the king today. And there you go. Little's GP takes the win. A double win. The same as he did in round 4. And that takes him up to 8 wins out of 16. That's a good ratio, that. IR Graham finishing in 2nd. Kept Little GP honest all the way, but that Alpha just didn't have it today on the BMW. Liam Anfield bringing the 2nd Alpha home onto the podium. Take a boo, my son. And that's going to do him wonders against his championship fight with Matt Psycho. So Liam Anfield, after his 8th in the sprint, he needed a good one. And there he is on the podium in 3rd. 4th place for Pace. I haven't seen him too often this season, but when he turns up, he's exciting. He only took part in the feature race of round 4, and now back for round 8 feature race. He's got 4th again. Come back again, see if he can get on the podium. Mr. Pace. Matt Psycho, an interesting strategy, but in the end I don't think the 2-stop strategy was the one to go with today. And he gets himself another 5th, as he did in the feature race, the sprint race, sorry. 6th for Homesick Alien. 6th for Homesick Alien in the Mercedes. I think I mentioned it's his birthday today. What is it, the 14th? Yeah, April the 14th. He's, I think, 24. He's either 24 or 25 today, I can't remember. But yeah, happy birthday, Homesick Alien. 7th place for Guesty. Now my dad's ringing the doorbell. He's got a key, but he's going to be irritating and ring the doorbell 1,000 times. And I'm not answering it because I'm doing this. I'm talking to you guys. Guesty getting 7th spots in the Aston Martin. 8th place for Stevie Styler. Oh, he's only just on the camera, isn't he? There he goes. 8th place for Stevie Styler. After his 4th in the sprint. I imagine he was hoping for more. 9th place there for Racer Brown. So Racer Brown coming home in 9th. He had a bit of a dramatic race, ups and downs, and only managing 9th in the end. 10th place for the Lexus of Gazman, there to go with his 7th in the sprint race, and Noxie bringing home the 2nd Lexus in 11th spot. So that was the GTMC Season 4 Lobby 1 Round 8. All wrapped up with a nice little bow in the chat. Caroline Sight saying good racing, thanks Thingy, it's my pleasure, thank you for watching. And Bunny saying good morning all, just as he's arriving we're leaving. Sorry, it wasn't anything you said, I promise. So then Little's GP there is taking the win. Sorry, someone just started singing in the other room because I'm not in here just chatting. But there we go, Little's GP taking the win. Fantastic stuff. Have I got anything to say? Yes, keep an eye out for Lobby 2 of the GTMC Season 4. That will be dropping probably tomorrow morning. Then we've got, I think, the VGT this week is starting up on Thursday. So keep an eye out for that race. Friday night, we've got Fuji qualifying for the 2.5 hour race. That's going to be some interesting stuff. And then Saturday night we carry on with the Super Touring cars. Is it the Group 4? No, Group 4 Worlds something or other. Group 4, hang on, I can tell you what it is. The Group 4 World Series, sorry. That's going to Italy with the Italian cars. So that's one to watch out for. And then Sunday we have the Sunday Cup in the Renault Clio V6s this time around. So join us for that. Loads of racing. We can't get enough of it. We love racing at Virtual Racers Club. It's in our name. It's got racing in our name because we love racing. That's why we're called the Virtual Racing Club, because we love racing. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I don't know why. That's what YouTube people say. So it's something I say, because monkey see, monkey do. Right, that's it. I was your commentator and your broadcaster, Jenny Talwarts. Thank you for watching. I will see you later. Bye.